Alright, welcome anime viewers. I am Gyuki Gendo searching for the One Piece. And today's video will be about K episode 10 review. Now beforehand, I'm gonna say I do not own the thumbnail or the music to this video. All rights go to the creators of this series, K. But I'm saying music because right now it's not the music right now, but later on you'll hear the three main songs from the anime. So I want to point that out. I do not own the music. All rights go to the people who created K, as well as the thumbnail. That said, do not copyright me because I just said that, and I'll write it down below again so y'all don't copyright me. So starting from the beginning, we see the students again. I don't think they'll play any opponents really, because they're not really relevant to the story or whatever at all. But we see the girl who he's usually with all the time, Shiro. He's usually with the one that has the picture of him that proved his innocence during the night of the murder. She sees the sword of Damocles and she's like, "Oh, what's that?" And I'm like, seeing her like, "Bitch, you don't know what that is? Like, you live in this fucking place. How do you not know what that is? Honestly. That's a fucking sword of Damocles, man. You're gonna live in the place and not know about that shit? Right? How will you live in a place that you don't know about the king and shit? The people who run everything. The city that you're in and all of that. Like, really? You stupid? You dumb bitch? You so ignorant about this place you live? Come on, man. The sword of Damocles, and if you actually look, you'll be able to tell that that's the Red King. You know? Shit, if I was living in that place, of course I would know that shit. That would be the first thing I would know. Like, is there anything dangerous here? Oh yeah, there's a thing called the King. 7 kings, they have powers and shit. Oh, well, thank you, that's good to know. You know? Would be ignorant about that shit. I'd know about that shit right off the bat. As soon as I saw that fucking thing, I'd be heading the other way, you know? It's like, shit, the fucking king, I better go that way then, you know? But she sees that shit, and a giant explosion happens, which the red squad comes in and takes over the entire school to find the guy who killed their one of their members and shit. And they pretty much just take over and they're just like, cooperate with us and you won't get hurt. We're just looking for the guy who killed our friend. Here's a picture of him. If you know who he is, or you know him or anything like that, or you see him, please let us know so then we can get out of here faster, sooner. So pretty much the Red King just goes off. The Red King just throws his energy at that little clock tower that one guy was trying to propose his confess his feelings to that one girl. He just pretty much breaks that in half and it falls to the ground. And he just walks off and he's just like, "Y'all go handle this and stuff," and they pretty much do. They go handling this shit. And later on we see the Blue Squad and they're making a perimeter around the school. So, and in one of the bands that they're in, we see the vice captain girl that was there. She's like saying, "I'm sorry, I let the Red King go. I take full responsibility," and stuff like that. And the funny thing about it is that the Blue King, he just makes fun of her the whole time, and he's like, "The look on your face as you embrace the humiliation isn't bad at all," and shit. And he's just like, feeling responsible for not being able to stop the Red King is a sign of considerable ignorance. And I was like, fuck yeah, man. It's like, you think you could have taken on the Red King, but you just let him escape? No, man. He's a king. And he's like, you're not a king. It's obvious you couldn't stand up to someone of that power, you know? So pretty much they go and they look and they're just like, a war against the Red Clan is pretty much inevitable, but I'm going to go in there alone to talk to the Red King alone and try to convince him, but more than likely we're just going to have an all-out war between the blue and red squad, the red two clans and shit. So That pretty much happens, and he heads in there alone. So then we see Anna. He's going to the little red from the Red Clan, the little girl that uses those red spear things. She's heading to Mikoto, the Red King, and he's laying on top of the clock tower that he just sliced in half. He's laying on top of that rubble right there, and she's going up to him. She's climbing up and shit, and she gets almost there, like she's about to reach the edge, and the footing beneath her pretty much caves in, and she's about to fall. And it's a pretty steep. It's pretty steep. Like she'll break an ankle if she falls. You know, she'll get hurt. But the Red King, he's just laying like this, you know, on his back and shit. And he just takes his hand, puts it down, and grabs her and pulls her up, and puts her right next to him. And I was just like, oh, you know, I don't know if there's anyone else, but I was just like, I feel the I was like, oh, you didn't even give much effort to do that. You know, you didn't give much effort. He was just fucking laying down, and he just like took his hand and grabbed her right at that second and stuff. And I was like, oh, shit. While also I noticed that when he put her next to him, I was just like, holy shit, man. That Anna chick is small, man. She is fucking small. Compared to him, she is literally small. And if you notice now, the songs from K are starting, so I do not own that song or the thumbnail. They all go to the creators. It's a drama. But yeah, this Anna chick is small, man. Holy crap, man. Like, his hand is about the size of her head. Like, she is that small. I was like, holy shit. This guy's like a giant compared to her. And apparently, we also get to see what she sees, the Anna chick, what her perception is through her eyes and shit. And what she was going over there for was because there was snow, and it started to snow, by the way. And there was snow on the Red King, and she came over here to like just wipe it off and shit. And what apparently she sees, I think she's colorblind to a certain degree, because she's looking right at the Red King, and we see him laying down on top of the clock tower, and the clock tower is just like brownish, light brownish thing. So through her eyes, it's gray. The whole thing's gray, and I believe the snow, she sees it as white. So yeah, that's she sees the snow as white, and when she's looking at Mikoto, she doesn't see any features, you know? She can't tell, like, all she sees is an outline of him, and inside that outline is just his red color. That's it. That's all she sees. So that's pretty interesting. I hope they explain that later on in this series, because that looks pretty interesting. So pretty much she came over to wipe off the snow off him, but he just ends up melting it off with his heat power. And then she just lays down next to him, taking a nap with him. Meanwhile, Yada comes by because they're second in command of the Red Clan calls for him. And what Yada was doing is pretty much keeping tabs around the island and shit, where the Blue Squad is doing, and he's pretty much letting him know and shit. So, meanwhile, we get to have a flashback, because apparently the guy who betrayed the Red Clan was Yada's partner, his team, because they were a team together. And apparently you get a little flashback of when he betrayed him. So that was pretty interesting watching that happen. Meanwhile, the second in command comes by, and he's talking to the Red King. And he's just like, you're living the life, man. While your men are running around, their king takes a nap the whole time. And Mikoto, the Red King, replies, that's what it means to be king. And that was just funny to me. I was like, oh, that's funny. You know? And they're just talking, and he pretty much comes to tell him that he has a visitor from the Blue Team coming there to try to persuade him. So Anna and the second command of the Red Clan just pretty much go off and do something else as the Red Team comes over to talk to the Blue King, which apparently we find out that they are old friends. They used to be friends as children, close friends. So they're pretty much smoking a cigarette. The Blue King offers a cigarette, and Mikoto pretty much lights it for both of them. So that was pretty tight. That's a pretty handy power and shit. So meanwhile, the Blue King is just trying to persuade the Red King, Mikoto, and Mikoto's just not listening. He's just like, what happens, happens, you know? And this is the thing about this part. I didn't like this part. This is really gay. It's the same thing as the time when he was in the football field. The Blue King was in the football field, so like getting close to the person, like really close. So during the football field time, that was acceptable. You know, when he got really close to Black Dog, that was acceptable because what he was doing there was demonstrating his power. Other people had felt uncomfortable with it, but to be honest, that didn't seem gay to me. You know, it just seemed to me like he was demonstrating his power. Like he was just like, nigga, I can get this close to you, and you can't even touch me. Like that. That's why I interpreted it as you cannot touch me, and I can get this close to you. I'm this close to you, and you can't even touch me. You know, like that. But this time they did that shit again. He grabbed Mikoto and he laid him down on the ground, and he pretty much got on top of him. He got this close. He was this close from his lips locking onto Mikoto. And that right there was uncomfortable. Because that was just gay. That was really gay. It was really uncomfortable for me on that one. But luckily, it was pretty much only 10 seconds, so that ended really quickly. And still, the Red King was still unconvinced, and you know, the Blue and Red clans are gonna have an all-out war, pretty much. That's what's happening. Then we go to where Shiro, Neko, and the Black Dog are. And they're walking right into the door in his room. They find it all trashed up because of the bombing and shit. That was pretty funny. I laughed on that one. But pretty much not much happened in there except for the fact that they know about the Blue Clan and the Red Clan fighting how the Red Clan took over the entire place, and the Blue Clan's here, and they're gonna have an all-out war. So pretty much they decide to just help out the students because they're gonna get in the middle of the crossfire. So they're gonna help save the students and shit. So that's pretty much it. So stay tuned next week for episode 11 review. For reviews, please like, comment down below, and subscribe if you like my videos. I will leave a URL down below for the anime's episode. That's pretty much it. So once again, I do not own the thumbnail or music to this video. All rights go to the people who made K. I'll write it down in the description below, so you do not copyright me because I have just done this and that's justice, so you cannot copyright me. Anyways, that's pretty much it. So I'm Gear Segendo with Searching for the One Piece, and I am out.